First, I'm going to show you how to do a granny square. So now we have our bundles for the granny square. The smaller is going to be in the middle because the center has less stitches. Then as we get bigger, we're going to do a little bit more and more. What's fun about a granny square is that they can just keep growing. And this is the basis for every single granny square. So in the beginning, you want to have your yarns. This is a small bit, so we can use this for the center, and as the bundles get bigger, we're going to work outside. So we'll start off with our crochet hook and the yarn, which we pull from the center as shown before. I start with a slip knot, and I create a circle by doing chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then a slip stitch to connect to the beginning, which will create a circle. We're going to use the circle to go through to create the center. We're going to be doing 4 sections of 3 double crochets. The first one is always chain 2, which acts as a double crochet. Then we do 2 double crochets through the center, and then chain 1. We're going to do 3 more sections, so double crochet 3 of them, so that's 1, 2, 3, then chain 1. So 2 more times. Now that I've done the last chain 1, I will bring it and connect it to the first stitch, which is right here, to connect it with a slip stitch. So now what you'll see is, excuse the tail, but now we have 4 sections being separated with 1 little chain in between. We're going to be going into these sections for the next row. And I'm going to knot this one and just pull it all the way through to finish that colorway. So now we're going to change colors. So this is the baby granny square. So now the second color comes into play. It's always better to have a little bit of slack before you get started. And we're going to go from the beginning, or rather the end and connection. I'll bring through the yarn, and then I chain 2. Start doing the double crochets. I do 2 of these. Then I chain 1. Now we're going to create the first corner, doing 3 double crochets in that same section as we did before. Then chain 1. Now we're going to skip to the next section after the original first 3. So in this area where we have that 1 chain, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. So we're doing 2 sections of double crochet. So it's 2 sections of 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, then another series of 3 double crochets, chain 1, go to the next section. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and so you now start seeing the formation. 3 more double crochets, chain 1, 3 more double crochets, 2. This is the last double crochet, and then chain 1, and now we're going to connect it to the beginning of that row with a slip stitch, and then I'm just going to knot it by bringing it through, cutting it, and then pulling that through so it creates a knot. So let's say you're going to keep working on this over and over and over again, and you want to keep building it. You can just keep going and going. Now we're going to do the 3rd row, and the 3rd row is going to give you the example of how to keep growing it, because now we're going to have middle areas, and in the middle areas you want to only do 1 series of 3 double crochets, chain 2, and now you see I'm starting in the middle of this area, and now I do double crochet 2 times, and that will create the center section. Then chain 1, then we're going to do another 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, we're back at the corner, so we always do 3 double crochet, chain 1, and another 3 double crochets for each corner, because that creates the corner edge when you do 2 series of the 3 double crochets. So then that's the corner, chain 1, 3 double crochets in the center area, chain 1, then the next area, the next corner, we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1, do that again in the same corner area, 1, 2, 3, oops, chain 1, we're back at the center of this area, so we only do 1 series of 3 double crochets, chain 1, 2 series of double crochet, chain 1, we're going to go back into that corner area, another 3 double crochets, 3 double crochet. This is one series again, which is in the center area. Chain 1. We're in the last corner, so we do 2 series of double crochets with a chain in between. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then we're going to connect it to the beginning of the first with a slip stitch. So now you see we have a 3-color granny square, and you can keep going if you want, but this is the basis. And you can make a bunch of these in several different colorways and then piece them all together. You got to know how to do a granny square now.